I'm watching my wife. I'm always getting confused. I mean, I'm not doing like she's doing, but she is like putting everything on the scale. Okay, now she has three potatoes, three tomatoes, and drives me crazy. This is kind of I'm not this specific detailist, but I'm like more like I'm more taking into focus this exercise like we did. Okay, you have one part or one third of the plate is this one, for example, red or green category, and then two thirds is of the other category. So this is something what is working for me, but I'm not putting it on the scale.
Scale, yeah. And what's confusing? What confuses you about this?
No, I mean, that she is putting everything on the scale, and I'm not doing it. So I'm just like not. Is it no? Maybe I should put it as well on the scale, or am I doing it right? Or
Mm-hmm. So what do you think?
I have to put it on the scale.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think so?
Now, in order, I mean, this is the balance to have the calorie intake, not to lose sight of the calorie intake, maybe
Mm-hmm.
to get these. Yeah,
So is your current approach that you are doing, is it working for you?
yeah. I mean, I'm keeping my balance stable, even I'm losing still weight. So
Uh-huh.
I'm
So what do you think would help you if you weighted that food, if you put it on the scale?
it would just drive me crazy. It wouldn't help me. It would just annoy me.
Okay, I guess you have the answer.
Okay, okay,
Oh, and it's very common. Like it's it works for some people because mostly it's a psychological thing. I'm not saying that calories don't work or whatever, but their psychology is like they are more numbers oriented people, more analytical in that way. Other people are not as much. It's not about, I mean, I was writing about this just recently and I got some, headbutting there.
okay,
When I said like, most trainers and so on, they have one approach, like for example, counting calories, and they use it with everybody, but that doesn't work with everybody. You want to be flexible with the approach in a way
okay.
that works for that person. And you can see this even with like trainers or who are really successful and they have like thousands of people, who they work with. But they have they have like very successful clients, but all of them used that same approach. So it's like a survivorship bias, if you know what that is. It's
Yeah,
like you take 100 people, for 50 of them it will work. So you know you will have 50 successful people, and over time you will have another 50, and but nobody is looking at those 50 that it didn't
yeah,
work for. And then we
yeah.
have a problem because these 50 people who it didn't work for, they feel like something's wrong with me because it worked for them, it did not work for me, so I should change. No, you were doing the wrong thing. So the same thing for you, I guess, is that your wife has a different psychology than you have. It works for her. For her, it is not stress, probably, and that is why she's not doing it. For you, it is very stressful. For you, works something different. So why wait food if you don't need to?
Okay. No, perfect. No, that's. I mean, yeah.
So
It's good to
yeah,
hear sometimes. This is good to hear. Yeah.
don't feel pressured to do something. Let's say even if it would accelerate, let's say what you are doing, is it worth the trade-off of having much more stress? What is that scale? Maybe you improve by 5%, but you increase the stress by 55%. So I mean,
Okay, okay, I'm getting
Is
it.
the 5% improvement worth the 55% more stress?
No, 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 of course.
Only you can answer.
Well, at the moment, I have not really big issues because I mean, it helped me a lot. All the discussions what we had along the way. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I and what I really like about your approach is as well that you make it simple. I mean, not too complicated. So this makes it a nice approach. I mean, for sure you can you have as well material for people who like it more complicated, who like to read all detailed information, but as well on the same side you're approaching me with this. Yeah, you can do it, but you don't have to do it. And so this is something, and it helped me a lot as well in this way. I mean, to not lose the motivation, not so to
Right.
stick with it on this on one side, but as well not to lose the motivation with it. And yeah, so at the moment, I will just monitor and basically, I mean, I have the goal what we have written down. It's still to become the healthiest version, and this is something what I'm trying to adapt
Right.
by
Because
sticking as well.
no, and thank you for sharing all that. And that's what I was referring to. It's like everyone has their personal approach. They have different psychology. They have different lives. So why make it more complicated than it needs to be? Like when people come because they want to simplify it, not to make it more complicated.
No, of course, of course.
Right. But sometimes we have the tendency to make things more complicated because more complicated, or by making it more complicated, we think that it will be better. And
Yeah,
okay, and it is also perfectly fine to not change anything. So we don't need to be constantly pushing something different when what's working right now is working. Because
yeah,
always there will be time when something, let's say, stops working or whatever. So no, if we are looking for
yeah,
like the minimum viable change.